So, in the news recently, there's been some sort of breakthrough with uterus transplants, which they say could allow men to get pregnant.
Yeah, more fuckery.
Number one, do you believe that this is actually going to happen at some point?
See, you can't tamper with perfection. See, this is part of the arrogance of mankind, where he believes that he can actually improve on perfection. So there's a reason why the man has the biological composition that he has, and there's a reason that the woman has hers. To go against that, once again, is to say, no, I know better than nature, and I'm going to do it how I want to do it. All that can come from that is bad shit. Like, they're going to try to do it. It's not going to take. A motherfucker's going to die. Some babies are going to... It's going to be a disaster. It's going to be a disaster, even if it can conceivably happen. And let's just say they do it, they make it take, and a baby is born. Who knows the quality and what would happen to the baby, just due to the fact that this man, although you've sewn a uterus in his fucking ass, he still doesn't have the chemical balance of a woman, the chemical structure of a woman that provides a baby with certain things it needs as it's being developed in the womb. These motherfuckers are just so hot to try to make a man into a woman and a woman into a man. And once again, they're trying to make the abnormal normal. This is crazy. Like, this is only shit you'd hear in a crazy world. Like, but yet this is being put up as news, and it's something to be taken. We're supposed to consider this seriously, as if this is a breakthrough for men. This is what we always wanted to do. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, clearly, the number one group that would be interested in this is the transgender community, because I'm reading up about this as I'm talking to you, and it would require complex hormone regimen, and
right, because you don't have it naturally.
Right. So clearly, transgenders already go through this type of hormone therapy. They already get vaginas created and so forth. And although this would be a very dangerous procedure, I could definitely see a lot of considering what the transgenders already put themselves through to become women. I think there's going to be a long line of them ready to sign up for this, even if it could potentially kill them.
Absolutely. And they'll be the martyrs of the movement. But whatever, they want to do that dumb shit. Like, it's not gonna work. Like nature always prevails. When you go against nature, you do some fuck shit, you see what happens. Watch what happens.
Well, the first people that are going to be able to benefit from this type of surgery is women who cannot give birth, who were born without a uterus or were born with a damaged uterus. And apparently there's like 50,000 women who are in line for something like this already, who just simply can't give birth. To be fair, saying, well, God created things a certain type of way, you shouldn't tamper with it. Are you saying that if you were born with a damaged uterus, then you should not go through the process of trying to get something like this repaired or transplanted in order to fix that situation?
Saying everything happens for a reason. And maybe you need to look at why. But as far as a woman goes, you're a woman. So that's what your uterus technically is supposed to work. So if you're trying to correct that or something like that, I can understand that, because you're a woman. And this is how you're supposed to be. So But again, everything happens for a reason, and maybe you specifically were meant for some reason bigger than yourself that you don't understand to not have children or to, go through whatever the case may be. I don't know. But I definitely would understand a woman doing it before a man doing it. Because it's natural for a woman to want to have a child, to want to have that experience of having a child within her body. That's what nature intended for her to do. But when you come to a man who's basically, under psychological attack and believes himself to be something other than his own true self, although he feels like this is his true self, and I just gave the little quote sign when I said feels like, that's a whole different situation, and you can't even compare the two. Don't even bring the two up in the same conversation, because it's two totally different things.
There was a movie about this. There was an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie called Junior, where he was the first man to give birth.
Right, and it was a comedy. And it was a comedy.
Right.
It was a fuck, because that's a joke. It's a joke. If you look back, there was a show in the 70s. I can't remember it, but I remember it used to come on like Channel 11. It was about a backwards world where the men could get pregnant and were in a subservient role, and the women were in charge. I'm telling you, I forget the name of it. If somebody does their Googles, they're gonna find that motherfucker. It's an obscure show though. I don't even think it was on a mainstream type of network. The way the camera work looked even kind of cheesy for back then. But they've been planning this shit for a long time. And yeah.
Well, I could just imagine in the future, let's just say, because they're saying within 5 to 10 years, hypothetically, they'll be able, for men to be able to give birth. But imagine, let's just say 100 years in the future. You have these relationships with really bossy women and subservient men, right? Which happens all the time. Imagine a woman basically bullying her husband or boyfriend and saying, no, I don't want to carry. You got to carry. Yes, dear. Okay,
right.
I'll carry the child.
Trust me, there's relationships right now. If the dude could carry it, that broad would bully him into it right now. If he could do it. Like, there's relationships out there right now. You even got to think down the line. Like, dudes just getting abused by their woman, beat up physically and all of that. Shut up, nigga. Slapping the shit out of him. Putting cigarettes out on him and shit. Kind of crazy shit. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. I personally didn't think that something like this was going to happen in my lifetime, but based on this, you never know. I mean, it sounds insane, but then again, I mean, creating a vagina out of a penis sounds insane to me. So,
I mean, but that, it's not real. Like, it's all cosmetic. You got to do a whole bunch of bullshit to make it work. You know what I mean? Like, they not just banana in they dick. They gotta, like you said, take all kind of fucking hormones and pills and regiments in order to keep the shit going. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you damn near gotta be paid to even do all of this shit.
Okay.
What about the poor gays? You leaving them out. You discriminating against poor gays. They can't even afford this type of shit. What are they supposed to do?
Well, how do you feel about plastic surgery in general? Like, for example, what do you think of a woman who has breast implants or butt implants?
I think whenever you're not happy with yourself, it's a problem and it needs to be diagnosed. Because none of that shit is going to change the core problem, which is in your mind, not necessarily with your physical. You got these people that get gastric bypass all the time and, they lose all this weight. But then they look so unhappy afterwards. They look all gaunt and sucked in. And Well, what happened? You at the weight you wanted to be. Why you not happy? Because your problems still exist in your mind. And the weight was just a symptom of the bigger problem. So the fact that you're not happy with your ass, that you're not happy with your titties, you're not happy with whatever it is about you, your eye color, your hair texture. These are problems that are in your mind, that have been implanted in your mind by society, but you think you feel this way. No, I've always felt this way about myself. Yeah, because you've lived in society since as long as you can remember, and they've been implanting certain things since you were a baby. So now when you get to a certain age, if your nose is not within the certain parameter that society says is a beautiful nose, and if your ass is not, I mean, first of all, a fat ass wasn't even good in certain circles 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Now a fat ass is popping. When y'all try to make flat asses, and when I mean y'all, I mean European people, white people, was trying to make the white woman's flat ass be the thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, be something to aspire to, and make look down on the black woman's ass. Now the black woman's ass is being celebrated. Everybody wants to have that fat ass, that black ass. And, it's all perception. It's all in your mind. So, yes, to answer your original question, I'm not down with none of that type of shit. You know what I mean? Like, there's grooming and shit like that, but beyond, like, when you really trying to alter yourself, putting in, fake bones, cheekbones, and all kind of other crazy shit, that's not the problem. The problem is in your mind, and you need to analyze that shit.
No pressure, you know what I'm saying? I'm just having fun with it. You know what I mean? I'm having fun. Like, this is what I do. I really do this for real. So it's like, I know I make the type of music, that could spread out to the world, and I could be as massive, as big as an artist as, the rest of the artists on Cash Money.
It was unbelievable to me, but I know he messed it up a little bit once he said all the guns and stuff were fake, and he never did shit like that, and he worked a job, and he got his two-parent,